Greetings, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Heidi Henriksen. I am here with Vince Breslin, the CEO and co-founder of Uplisting. And today we have Astro's Partner Education to learn a little bit about Uplisting, how to efficiently manage your rentals and bookings with their great platform. Real quick, we'll go through just a couple slides about who Astro is, what we're trying to accomplish here, and then we'll jump right in with Vince. So with that, with our brief 30 minutes, for those of us joining us for the first time, Astro was formed because we found the industry was a bit fragmented. And our goal is to provide an unbiased platform with education, resources, a community, safe, legal, profitable, and successful resources for those short-term rental homeowners and their guests, as well as the vendors in our industry. So our not-for-profit launched in 2020, and our team is comprised of industry experts with over 70 years of experience in hospitality and vacation rentals. So we've partnered with some of the industry's key companies, from Proper Insurance to Key Data Dashboard, Price Labs, Rent Responsibly, and really providing that connection point between hosts and guests. So a little bit about our platforms. We've got a lot of engagement happening in our community, from our website with a very robust business directory to our membership community, which is a separate platform. A lot of collaborating happening in there. It's sort of like a social media platform, so to speak, for vacation rental hosts. Then we have all our social media outlets, from Facebook, Instagram, our YouTube channel with all of our recorded videos, and of course, Twitter. And our email newsletter comes out once per month with some great industry highlights, a little advocacy background in there, and upcoming events. We also focus a lot on our strategic partnerships. So other not-for-profits with a similar concept, such as STAA out of the United Kingdom. We do, as I mentioned, partner with Rent Responsibly to help with advocacy education. And also Penn State and other local organizations, they contribute a lot to our educational courses. So webinars and events, you're attending one today. So thanks again for joining us. We do have ongoing events on a monthly basis. And then first this year, we have Astro Live, our very first in-person conference to bring homeowners and vendors together in an in-person event. So that is going to be in November of this year. And the location is just about to be launched. So stay tuned for details. And finally, our road shows. We do these once per month, and this is in a different location, various cities throughout the US. We bring in data partners, Rent Responsibly, to speak on advocacy efforts and permitting processes in that local market. We bring in a real estate expert and also a local homeowner to really speak to what it's like in that particular market. So that list has just been launched as far as where our road shows will be this year, and you'll find that on our website at astro.org. So also really quickly, our community is an amazing location to collaborate with other hosts. You can actually find other hosts based on geography or look for people in your city, state, whatever. There's also a great opportunity to drill into specific topics of conversation and find that in your newsfeed. It's where all of our e-learning courses are listed. So we have 6 educational courses. They're taught twice per year. And as well as staying informed of industry news, best practices. And our community is free to join. There's also a premier host tier that is $10 per month or $100 per year. That gets you access to all of the courses at any point, as well as some fantastic member perks and discounts. Anything from Williams-Sonoma to Lowe's, Sherwin-Williams, just about anything you might need as discounts while you set up your short-term rental. So feel free to check that out at members.astro.org. And with that, Vince, we want to hear all about you and Uplisting, how you guys got started, and see what your platform is accomplishing for rental homeowners.
Super. Thank you so much, Heidi. Thanks for having me, and hi to everybody listening or watching. So just to give you a quick overview of what I'm going to do over the next few slides, I'm going to give you a brief introduction to Uplisting, not spend too much on that, and just explain our background and maybe my background a little bit. We one common reason members like our product is due to our reliability and the simplicity of use. So I've recorded a quick video yesterday, which kind of shows you in real time how easy and quick it is to get set up on on Uplisting and focused on how you can launch a direct booking website, which is one of the products, one of the features we provide of many, but just show you how quickly it is to do that, because that's for a lot of people it's an unknown. It's very it can be a bit daunting. And then after the video, just happy to answer any questions that you might have. So Heidi, if we go to the next slide, please. So I am co-founder of Uplisting. Uplisting is a preferred, an Airbnb preferred property and channel manager software, and we're built specifically for kind of growing short-term rental businesses. We are I'm based in New York. We're a UK company. We started off in London in the UK, but I'm Irish. You might be able to tell from my accent. Myself and my co-founders, we worked for an Airbnb competitor in London called Housetrip. And it was there I kind of ran a business that was similar to Uplisting within that company. I spent thousands of hours talking to hosts and property managers about their needs and what's lacking in industry. And this was back in 2016, so still fairly early on in the where we are in the market, I guess. I also co-run a 16-bed short-term rental kind of hotel, apart hotel in Ireland. Using Uplisting, thankfully. Values that we offer with Uplisting, we work closely with a lot of our members. We have a public roadmap of features we're building. Our members get to vote on what features we build next. So a very collaborative kind of community that we have with our members, and constantly aiming to release features to add value. And last year, we launched our direct booking website, our engine, in 2020, just as kind of COVID hit. But last year, we did over $14 million in direct bookings for our members through that website. So it's a very helpful product to increase your direct bookings if that's something you're looking to do. And just to give you an idea, we have members all over the world, primarily in English-speaking countries, but US, UK, Australia, really big markets for us. And yeah, obviously I'm based in the US, so I have a lot of time to talk to our US-based members. And just to touch on some of the reasons that can make us stand out, I guess. Obviously, it's a quite competitive industry, but it's time and time again, members are just commenting on how easy it is to use and how reliable the software is. So we get a lot of members moving from other software that may have failed them due to some reliability issues. There's a lot of great software in the market. There's a lot of terrible software as well, unfortunately. But we kind of focus on reliability and simplicity. It doesn't need to be overly complex to do a very good job. We are official partners with Airbnb, Booking.com, Vrbo, and we're launching an integration with Google Vacation Rentals any day now. So 4 big channels for short-term rentals. It's a central, our property management system is a central hub to manage all your bookings, guest communications, perform a lot of tasks, which I'll go into in the video, and explain how we can automate a lot of the pre-arrival tasks for guests, like automated messages, security deposit collection, rental agreement signing, and guest identification verification, all built into a very guest-friendly platform. Communications, and then the click and play direct booking website. We have lots of other features like automated reviews for Airbnb, automated responder for Airbnb inquiries, and a lot more processes that we have as well, but those are the ones that kind of stand out. So the next slide is the video, so it'll play automatically, and the idea behind this is just that it's a quick overview in real time of how Uplisting works. Not sure that there should be audio there. I don't know if you can hear it.
Are you able to hear the audio, Vince? I
can't, but I can talk over it if there's no audio.
Let me just do one little.
I'm not sure what the settings would be, but I can also send you a direct link to this video. That might be helpful.
Is there video and no audio?
I can see video, yeah, no audio.
Okay.
Let me try. Can I chat? If I chat, this is a direct video. I don't know if this make any difference, but this will be potentially this will play with sound. I just put it in the chat there. Yeah.
Let's try it.
No audio.
No
Technical
audio.
difficulties.
Oh, I apologize.
No worries. Okay, just go back to the presentation and play the video, and I'll talk over it as we go. I'll hopefully remember what I'm doing. What
okay.
I did. Okay, so the idea here is just showing you from sign up through to initial setup and actually getting value from the product as quickly as possible. So just signing up as for a free trial here. So we have a 14-day free trial, no credit card required, fully featured. You'll get to have test out all of our features. The first thing that we do once you sign up is ask you to connect to Airbnb. This is in read-only mode. It doesn't affect your Airbnb account in any way. It doesn't affect any existing software you have in any way either. It's just a way for us to access your properties and make onboarding as quick as possible. So we do this in read-only mode, and then once you're ready to kind of upgrade or get set up, you can upgrade your connection so that we have full access to your Airbnb account and start syncing, prices, messages, and everything else. This is just showing you that we only have access to like read-only kind of import things to Uplisting and not actually push to Airbnb. So now what's happening is we're just importing those listings from the Airbnb account. This account only has 2 properties, so it's fairly quick to import. If there's reservations on the account, you'll see those on the calendar. There aren't any on this particular test account, but we've imported your properties. We have the calendar. The multi-calendar is designed to add, make things really simple and add some value. So you can show and hide certain rows in your calendar, like min stay settings, and you can set those directly on Uplisting. You can also set your prices and sync those out to your connected booking sites and configure to have a markup on top. So say you want to mark up your prices going to booking.com by 20% or Google by 5%, whatever it is, you can do that, and that will automatically just sync the correct prices when you change the price within the Uplisting calendar. So you can change prices on the calendar. We also have bulk updates, so you can change the prices for the next 6 months, for example, for every Sunday to be $100. Really flexible, very quick way of changing prices and min stay and some other settings or other restrictions as well. This is just showing you that you can show and hide the prices that are displayed on each channel, because it's not one thing that can be really confusing is if you have different prices on booking.com and Airbnb and Vrbo, and you're not really sure which price is on which one. So you can see this really quickly directly on your Uplisting calendar. Now we're going to, the only thing you have to do before you can launch a direct booking website in Uplisting and actually take payments for bookings is connect a Stripe account. So here I'm connecting my Stripe account, which is very straightforward and seamless. Enter your password. No, sorry, this is I thought I cut this bit out. Anyway, you have to enter your password and it gets connected. Give it a second. Give me a few minutes to do this one even. So what will happen is we connect your Stripe account. You can connect multiple Stripe accounts. You can have one per property, for example, and you can connect. And then whenever a direct booking is created on your website, or you send them a direct payment link from Uplisting, those payments will go directly to your Stripe account, which you then have access to and can send to your bank account and so on. Okay, so I'm nearly there with this. Connecting those to my Stripe account, those listings, then just explaining that you can connect to multiple Stripe accounts. Then we have the direct booking. This is where you set up your direct booking website. All you have to do is enter a subdomain or like a domain name. This is typically your company name. So I've entered New York here. Clicking that button then creates a website, and you'll see what this looks like in a second. Because we've imported everything from Airbnb, all the content, prices, restrictions, listing title, all that stuff has been imported automatically. And this is your website that you can literally start taking direct bookings immediately. So the purpose here is to make a nice designed website that's mobile responsive, and that gets as many bookings converted as possible. So these are the two listings. You have your homepage, which I just shown you, and then you have the search listing page where a guest can enter their date range and the number of guests. And then if you have multiple properties, it'll display the properties that are available. Here I'm just entering a date range, and this one property is available. The images are terrible, so ignore that. But this is the listing page and what it looks like. You can see the prices there, and you can add taxes and cleaning fees and whatever else as well. The guests can click on Instant Book. This is the payment page. They can enter their payment, their name, phone number, email address. They can pay for their reservation. This is going through your Stripe account. And that's the booking flow. So very quick, simple booking flow. You then have this post-booking page, which is like a booking confirmation page that every reservation on Uplisting has, whether it's an Airbnb, direct, whatever it is. This booking will be imported into, you can see this booking now, or this reservation on the Uplisting calendar. This is it. You can see a few statuses here, like the booking has been paid and charged for successfully. I can start sending messages to the guest. We have automated messages that will go out automatically, that you can configure. But all of that is kind of, done within Uplisting. Any response from the guest will go to your Uplisting unified inbox. You can then enable a few features. So this is part of our pre-arrival automation. We have the guest identification verification, which you can enable. We collect a security deposit, and we do a pre-auth 24 hours before check-in, or we take a full payment if the booking is over 6 nights. You can set what price you want your deposit to be. And we also have an e-sign rental agreement, which is, you can add your own content. You can add tags so that information that's relevant to each property can be inserted. This is just very basic information here, but you'd have potentially a page or 2 pages of content. So then once those are enabled, and I go back to my reservation on the calendar, you can see that there are new statuses or new requirements for the guest. So we have guest ID has not been verified. The deposit has been provided because we have the credit card from the booking, but the rental agreement has not been signed. So if you open the booking confirmation page now, there'll be new modules that the guest has to perform. So we have the guest verification. They click that button and they go through to a really user-friendly way of verifying their ID. This is the e-sign rental agreement. You can sign with your finger or on your phone or with your mouse to perform that action, and that gets converted then into a PDF, which we can see in a second. So back to the reservation, refreshing. You can see here, you can click on that button and view the PDF. Obviously, again, this is just dummy content. You'd have much more information than that, but that's downloadable. You can have your own logo, and it's a document you can use, if things need to be discussed with that guest. Explain the house rules, etc. And I think that, what else have we done? This is the unified inbox. So this is a message that I've sent to the guest. If the guest responds, it'll appear there. We have an action screen, which is like an agenda view or to-do list almost. You can see all of their check-ins, all of your checkouts for a certain time period. There's no reservations in this account, which so it's not showing much. But you can also search for the reservation using the guest name. You can filter by just show me check-ins in this time period, for example. So there's that reservation I created. You can search for it there and view it, and do whatever you need to do with it. There's a lot more automation features, like I mentioned, the autoresponder for Airbnb, automated messages, automated reviews for Airbnb that help to boost your ranking. You can do payment rules, which is great for direct bookings. You can say collect 10% up front and the remainder 10 days before check-in, for example. That helps your conversion rate for direct bookings, especially in at the moment where people are looking for flexibility. This is all the content we've imported from Airbnb, prices, availability settings. This is where you configure your automated messages. We can have different tags. You can create your own custom property attributes and insert them into your messages. Very flexible, and to make those messages really personal, and they don't appear to be automated. This is where you connect your booking sites. So I mentioned, we are releasing integration with Google soon. One of the very few softwares that will provide that integration. Very excited to see, how many bookings Google will start sending to our members. And those Google bookings are processed through the direct booking website. But yeah, that's the very quick introduction into how quickly that was in real time of how you can get set up with a trial and take a direct booking immediately. So next steps, if you want to have a look around, I mentioned we have a totally free 14-day free trial. It's fully featured. There's no credit card required. We work on a monthly rolling contract, so there's no, you're not tied in for months or years. We try to be as fair as possible, and allow you to do what you need to do without being tied into a contract or held hostage. We have onboarding calls to get you set up with your account, and we have webinars again to help you get set up with your account or to ask any questions. And yeah, so the best thing to do is just have a look around, see if Uplisting works for you, and hopefully it does. And we have a special discount for members here, 10% off if you sign up.
Fantastic. So thank you, Vince. I appreciate you going through that video so well. I've been on the spot like that. Certainly open things up to questions. Feel free to send those in the chat. I know I can start it off. We were chatting just before we started the webinar about Google Vacation Rentals, because it has been such a big hot topic, and everybody wants to be listed there, obviously, but there's only a certain way you can do that, only certain providers such as Uplisting. Can you speak to that a little?
Yeah, so Google Vacation Rentals is fairly new. They've had hotels for a while, but the vacation rental side is fairly new. And basically, when you're connected to Google Vacation Rentals, you'll appear on Google Maps. If a guest is searching for a proper, accommodation for a date range, your property will appear on Google Search in like little module within the search. Again, if you're looking for, if you type in something like accommodation in London, for example, and then Google will serve this Google Vacation Rental or travel kind of module. And then Google has its own kind of standalone product called Google Travel, where you might have used it to search for flights before, but you can also use it for search for hotels and vacation rentals. And again, so if you're connected via Uplisting, then your properties will be on those Google Search, Google Maps, and Google Travel. There's no, Google don't charge for this. There is, and the bookings take place as a direct booking. So we process all of the bookings using our direct booking engine, take the payment on your behalf through a Stripe account, but it means you're saving potentially a lot on commission. And yeah, they don't offer it to a lot of software, so we're quite fortunate that we have been able to integrate with them, and we're just literally finishing off our final testing. It's going to go live in the next week or two.
Exciting, for sure. I know that if you wanted to try and list just directly without working through a software platform like Uplisting on Google Vacation Rentals, you'd need to have upwards of 20,000 properties, I believe.
Yeah, they don't let people integrate, unless they have a lot of properties like that. So large operators, and there's no other way to have a searchable, like a date searchable listing on Google without being connected to software like Uplisting, or as you said, having, I think it's maybe 5,000-10,000 properties that you can integrate directly with them. You do have like Google My Business, which is nice to appear in search results, but you won't have any pricing. There's no dynamic availability or anything like that. But being connected through Uplisting is much more like an Airbnb kind of search experience.
Sure.
On Google.
That's great. And I think you mentioned a little bit about getting started, onboarding, what that looks like. I saw free support and onboarding initially. And you do webinars also. So it sounds like there's some ongoing training to help people really get started. But if somebody needs a little additional hand-holding because they're not as technology sophisticated, how in-depth is that available for a new member to join?
Yeah, so we have our webinars. I think it's running at the moment every Wednesday. We do onboarding calls. So as part of as you sign up to Uplisting, you're offered the chance to just book a time with one of our team. They'll spend 30 minutes with you initially and answer any questions. We'd aim to kind of answer questions to make sure that Uplisting is suitable for you, first of all, and we'll be honest if it's not, and maybe recommend some other alternatives. But in terms of getting set up, we'll do that initial 30-minute onboarding call. It is very easy. Well, it should be very easy to get set up. To have a play and have a look around at least. Then yeah, we'll have the onboarding call, and if you need more help after that, we'll have multiple onboarding calls with you. Once you subscribe.
That's great. I mean, it seems super easy to get started and work with your team. Even if you have just a single property, but you're looking to be connected to multiple channels without having to list directly. This is obviously much more robust than just an iCal sync, because with that unified inbox, even that's a really nice feature. Have you guys had that for quite a while?
Yeah. I think we were one of the first. I think we were the first to have the Booking.com integrated inbox, so having that just one portal where you can view and respond to guest messages is incredibly helpful with one property. And you can imagine if you have 400 plus properties, then it's it's critical to have that kind of thing. But yeah, unified inbox works really nicely, especially with automated messages as well. So you're kind of looking to reduce the amount of messages you have by sending the right automated message at the right time, so that you're preempting any questions that might come up.
Definitely. So I have to ask, is that something that's either available via app or it's very mobile optimized for that unified inbox in particular?
We have a native app for Android and iOS, and it's primarily focused around the inbox. That was like the most important thing for members on the go, to respond to messages and insert save replies. So yes, answer to your question, you will have an app that you can view messages and respond to.
Perfect. That makes it super easy. Well, I haven't seen any other questions pop up. We kind of covered them. Is there any other side notes or information you'd like to share, Vince, before we wrap things up?
I don't. I think that, the easiest thing, the easiest thing to do is just have a look around and take it for a test drive. I think you'll fairly quickly understand whether Uplisting is right for your needs, and you're welcome to do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of great platforms out there. The nice thing about what Uplisting provides is if you just have 1, 2, 3 properties, it's not overkill, right? It'll work for a property manager, but it also worked for a single homeowner really well without having too much operational support or other features that aren't as applicable to somebody that only has a handful of properties. So that's really good to know and understand. So
absolutely.
Well, thank you again so much for that overview. We really appreciate your time today, and everyone that's joined us. We'll have the recording of this link available on our YouTube channel that you see there. Actually not listed. We'll have to update that, but we will have it on our website. So thank you again, everybody. Appreciate your time and have a great rest of your week.
Thank you so much for having me. Take care.